Hello squirrels and welcome to PPM6 TV. Today what it is the sE8, a new microphone from SE Electronics, who have a noble history of making affordable high quality microphones. But the sE8 I think is a little bit special. SE are making big claims about the technical performance of this microphone, and it's at a very reasonable cost. So could it be the best cheap cardioid pencil microphone in the world? Could it? Well, we all know on PPM6 that the Line Audio CM4 is the best cheap microphone in the world. The CM4 has probably held that crown since its predecessor, the CM3. However, nothing lasts forever, and can the CM4 still see off the challenge from the new boy, the sE8? Well, let's have a look at what's inside the box. Well, these days, of course, unless you spend a lot of money, you don't get a case, but there's some warranty stuff and generally helpful information, no doubt. In terms of accessories, you get nice little foam windshield and a fairly tidy looking clip, complete with a 3/8 adapter. So nothing extraordinary there, but of course, the thing that we've paid our money to see, the sE8 itself. Now, in the hand, it does feel good. And I say that because the Line Audio, you know, carefully and lovingly made by Roger over there in Sweden, if you look at it, it's about 2/3 of the size of the sE8. A little bit lightweight, to be honest, compared with this. Now, I don't think that's so much of a problem because the tube is so short. This is a very, very rigid microphone, and I think you could stand on it and not break it. I'm not going to do it to mine, but that's just my observation. However, this does feel like a more premium and professional product. It's impossible to deny. The fit and the finish and the feel are all very good indeed. And in fact, with that little red SE badge of glory, if we just tilted it a little bit, look awfully like a Neumann. And of course, this is a competitor for the Neumann KM184. And we'll try a video of the two at a later stage, because SE, as I said, really do make great claims for this. It's got a similar frequency response to the Neumann. It's flat down below, and then there's a little bit of a presence rise above 5K, which I think is fairly similar to the Neumann. I think it might not be so pronounced on the SE. And whereas, of course, the Line Audio is as flat as the Fenlands from top to bottom. This has a flat frequency response down to 20 Hertz, and unlike either the CM4 or the Neumann, it has built-in pads, 10 and 20 dB, and some bass roll-off options. So it's got the features, it's got the finish. It's got a very dark grey and then a black top, and I have to say I'd prefer if it was unicolor, but hey, what's not to like about two-tone? But none of this really matters, does it? What we really care about is the sound. So let's get to it and have a listen to the sE8. Now, SE are making some big claims for this microphone, and that's backed up by some of their figures. The noise figures are 13 dBA and self-noise, and that is as good as a Neumann KM184, and there will be a video of the sE8 and the Neumann coming eventually, and that's pretty impressive. And their signal to noise figures are excellent, and their dynamic range figures look very good indeed. So all in all, SE have really pulled out all the stops in terms of quality for what is a remarkably affordable microphone. Now, translating that into sound, of course, is another thing altogether, because at the end of the day, we don't read the stats, we'll listen to our microphones, and this is your chance to hear this, and in a moment we'll pop on the Line Audio CM4. I mean, one of the differences between the two is that, like the KM184, the Line Audio, the SE has a little bump up at the presence end. It helps to cut through in a mix, and is, I think, something that makes the 184 so very attractive and so very popular. However, unlike the 184, the SE is flat down to 20 Hertz. And of course, if you don't want it flat down to 20 Hertz, you've got some bass roll-off options built into the mic. So all in all, a package of fit, finish, you know, specifications and sound. Well, that's what we're here to decide about. So having had a good listen, let's hand to the reigning champion. Moving now to the frozen north, well, at least Sweden and the Line Audio CM4 at arm's length. And even as I say that, I know I can feel the comments coming in. Alistair, we want you to work closely to these microphones. And maybe I will at some point. But anyway, this is the Line Audio CM4, an old friend of the channel, and available in all good microphone shops and directly from Roger at Line Audio if your local stockist doesn't have one. It's a remarkable mic at a remarkable cost. And my only regret about the CM4 is it's too successful, because every time you say to Roger, when can we get try some of your lovely mic preamps? He says, I'm too busy building CM4s. When can we have a figure of 8, Roger? Well, I'm too busy building CM4s. Roger, when could we have a hypercardioid? I've done a few tests, but I'm too busy building CM4s. So the success, I plead with people, young men and women in Sweden, if you wanted a career in microphone building, give Roger a hand so that he can spend some of his undoubted talents on some of these other things. But anyway, it's not a bad thing to be a victim of your own success. And if you follow the channel, you'll see every other week somebody leaves a post. Wow, the CM4, I've just ordered 1 or 2. And really, we should stop people doing that. So in a way, maybe I hope the sE8 does depose the Line Audio even slightly, so that Roger can have a bit more time and encouragement to deploy his many talents on some other audio projects. Anyway, this is the remarkable Line Audio CM4. What can I say that hasn't been said before? It's brilliant. I thought I would do a little bit of an off-axis because, I mean, I looked at the curves, the polar diagrams, and you can learn, obviously you can learn a lot, but the resolution is never really high enough to, I think, totally by eye tell if there's going to be a difference, so or an audible difference. So here we are. This is 90 degrees to the CM4. Off-axis tests are always very valuable if you're trying to gauge the consistency of the polar diagram across frequencies and across angles. It's a very simple test. I just put it at 90 degrees and we talk across it, see if we can hear, is the off-axis sound letting the mic down, because for some people and in some applications the off-axis sound can be the difference between success and failure. So this is 90 degrees to the SE Electronics sE8, and yeah, we're having some good fun with the SE. See how it does with this test. So what did we learn today? Well, I think we learned that SE Electronics have made a very, very, very good microphone indeed, at a very attractive price, with a fit and finish that you might expect on a much more expensive microphone. I'm very excited about this. I'll leave it to you to decide whether you particularly prefer the CM4 or the SE, but I think this is a mic we're going to be hearing about for a long time to come. Now, the next stage is to give it a run out against the Neumann KM184, and I'll get on the case for that as soon as I can. But in the meantime, check out, if you're in the market for, it's kind of the ubiquitous thing. It's a small end address, cardioid condenser microphone. It's kind of ubiquitous in our industry in all aspects of it. So if you're in the market for that, I would suggest you chase down an sE8 and give it a listen. Well done, SE Electronics. Good work. So do come back for other videos. I hope you've enjoyed your visit. Do subscribe. It does help. Bye for now. Take care.